segment. I had to do it. It's just been in my head all day. I had to do it. But back at it again with the back at it again. We to live and die in New Jersey, reloaded this time. So we're gonna start this episode off a little different. I got a little game for you.
Okay.
Just to get your brain juices flowing and stuff. And I know you're probably nervous, so to break the ice. What would you rather? A nigga with no legs or a nigga with no teeth?
No legs. You need teeth.
Iced coffee or tea?
Iced coffee.
Sandals or Crocs?
Sandals.
Being sweaty in cold weather or sneezing in hot weather?
I'm gonna say I'll take the cold.
Grip baby or no.
You a fool.
A Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday. Duh.
All right, last one before we get into it or whatever. Would you rather be stranded on an island full of fruit or lost in the city full of your favorite animal?
I don't play with animals. I'll take the fruit.
All right, so we about to start this thing off. I was kind of rude. I didn't even introduce y'all to Grip Baby in the building, but anyway, you gonna do your own introduction. Tell them who you are, and tell them who we talking about today.
My name is Teresa, and we're talking about my youngest brother, Antwan. To other people, they call him Bust Down. I don't do those little street names.
Oh,
but
so like, whose sister are you though?
Antwan.
Can you say that with your chest? I don't like that one.
Antwan.
Oh, okay. So tell us about Antwan. Like, what was Antwan like? He was a clown like you?
Yes, he was. That was like the best thing about him. Antwan was funny, sensitive. He has a very sweet personality. He had his stuff with him, but overall, people loved him because they did see that he meant well most of the time. So he loves kids. So he would be the person that you could drop your kid off and he going to make sure 100,000% that they're good.
He used to charge you?
Nah, he ain't charge either. That was the other good part.
Oh, yeah, he loved the kids for real. Little brother not charging for the kids? All right, so your mother got 5 kids, right? It's 5 of y'all? Of the 5, I'm about to stir the pot. Y'all know I like to do that. Who your favorite of the 4?
My older sister.
Ooh, y'all heard that? Antwan heard that too.
Well, they probably know it. She know. So, yeah, she the oldest. So, I told her the other day, like, I don't even remember her ever being a kid.
Wait, how many years apart are y'all?
We 8 years apart.
Damn.
All of us are 4 years apart.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't remember her being a kid. I always felt like she was an adult.
Grown, right?
Like, so, like, my mom was able to leave her, and she took care of us. Like, she made sure that we was good. Like, not like my mother didn't take care of us, but, when my mother was working or she had things that she needed to do, my sister always stepped up to the plate. Like, so I never heard her really, like, complaining about it. And even now,
right.
I feel like she still do the same thing, even though we all grown. Yeah. So usually your grandparents or like your mother be the person that the glue to the family, but I really feel like it's her for real. So
you gotta get her something nice for Mother's Day because she just said you was her favorite sister. Still stirring the pot.
I'm a mother too.
But that's what I'm talking about too. She gotta get you. I'm talking to her. She gotta get
you
you something nice
because
you just you said it for the world.
Oh yeah,
public platform. That's your girl right there.
She do nice things for me all the time.
All right. So what was it like? You said y'all all 4 years apart. What was it like growing up in the house with Antwan?
It was always. I feel like we always was just having fun. Like we lived in that era where we had to go outside. So my mother always made sure that we had something fun to do. Even if we made fun in the house, though, we was those kids who tied covers around our neck, run around. We superheroes, playing Ninja Turtles, Manhunt. So those was, most of the time, Antwan wasn't even playing, but he didn't even know. You give him a controller, it's not plugged in.
I'm crazy.
That type of thing. So, but we always had fun, though. So I feel like he was a very, like, he was always just right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like even if he wasn't a part of whatever was going on, I felt like he was just always there, kind of just like watching.
You said y'all played Manhunt. Who used to be the one out of y'all that be like, I'm not playing. I'm not playing when you
Every
get caught?
time, me. And I get serious. Don't grab me because I'm not playing no more.
It's over?
Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm under the car, but I'm not playing. I'm not playing.
Yo.
So, yeah, definitely me.
What was you and your brother relationship like?
As kids, I felt like we were always close because we were kind of like those middle kids. So wherever my mom went, we had to go. Like so, as adults, I felt like our relationship started to have that little like wear and tear on it because I was expecting certain things from him as his older sister, and of course, with him being a boy, being stubborn, being stuck in his ways, he didn't want to always listen to me, or he felt like because you doing this, you feel like I should be doing the same thing. So more like feeling like, oh, you know, you got your shit together. So you feel like you could kind of look down on me. But I feel like I made it clear to him like plenty of times that my biggest thing for him was like I wanted him. I saw him being more than what he thought he could be. You know, so. I think that any older sibling, or even your siblings, younger siblings, you know, I feel like we all expect certain things from our younger siblings. So I was always like, you know, I want you to have things that you say, you know, I got by myself. Nobody didn't get this for me. I did this by myself. You know what I'm saying? That's a good feeling to have. So that's something that I really, really wanted for him. I know how I felt when I got there, so I really wanted that for him. Like I wanted to see him have his own kids and not always being that person, somebody uncle all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to, because I felt like he was good enough for that, you know? So those was the things that we like, you know, we start to fight about back and forth all the time. So for the most part, during our adulthood, we did argue a lot. But again, like I said, he was sensitive. So he will come and say like, you know, I'm sorry, or I didn't mean it, or I wasn't in the right state of mind, or, you know, the stuff that I said, it wasn't true or whatever. He definitely didn't have a problem apologizing to you. And also, I feel like my mother really, if nothing else, she really raised us on love. Like, even to this day, I don't leave my mother's house or hang up the phone without telling her I love her. Same thing with my dad. When he called, we tell each other. So he was real big on that. Like, even if we argue, a little while later, he'll send me a message after he done blocked me on Instagram, everywhere from, you know, he'll send me a little message and tell me, like, you know, I love you. I'm fucked up. So that was just the gist of our relationship as him as an adult.
By the way, we not in the principal's office, so if you want to pop your cans or whatever.
You are definitely not the principal. Crazy.
Yeah. So if you want to pop that can before I ask my next question or whatever. Not asking why you opening it, right? So, you know, in the beginning, I asked you, like, well, who we talking about? You said Antwan, but they call him Bust Down. Every family though got a nickname for the kids in the family. Did y'all had a name for him? Like, is this something that? Because for me, right, my brother, everybody call him Slim Bees, right? So to the world, my brother was Slim Bees, but to us, that boy was Hot Rod. Like, that was Slim Bees. What? Like, we say it, you know, after his passing or whatever, but that was Hot Rod for real. Like, it was just y'all just call him Antwan.
Yeah,
nothing for
really
sure.
Had no real nicknames for him.
For
like
real?
That.
Not even like ugly. You know how you just be hiking on each other? Like, y'all ain't never like.
I mean, we call each other plenty of names, whether it was arguing or just playing, but never like a consistent nickname. Right. Not for me anyway, that I could remember.
Oh, who got their ass whooped the most? Looked like it was you.
I think it was me. I think it was me. Yeah, being that middle kid, I think that was just like, you know, once they get to the younger kids, they start to be a little more soft. Right. The older kids, they kind of like get to that point of like, man, I'm out of here. And I think in the middle, it was just me like still wanting to go everywhere my mother went, having those cousins that you start doing dumb shit with. Right. So, and my mother did not play. So I'm going to say me for sure.
Damn. Give us like your favorite memory of your brother, like whenever you think of your brother, or randomly, like I know randomly I'll be in the shower and something that my brother used to say will pop in my head out of nowhere. Like the other day, I'm in the shower, I keep hearing in my head, Inya. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Why am I thinking that? He used to say that. He'd be like random as hell, like, my name is, he'll make up a name and be like, I'm from Inya. I'm like, yo, why is that popping in my head? Like, what the fuck?
Something wrong with you.
Is there something like that just be popping up? Like, yo, this nigga really was funny as hell.
He definitely was funny as hell. I'm gonna say my favorite memory of him. I probably had two. One of them, one time we played hide and seek so hard, like he was high. I told you he probably wasn't even playing. Nobody probably wasn't even looking for him until my mother started looking for him and we couldn't find him. I mean, she called the cops.
Nah.
Put a missing person report. He was under the bed asleep.
No.
Like, he was high and hard as hell till he fell asleep. Nobody ever came to find him under this bed. So my mother started having a whole meltdown. But that's got to be one. And then, it's so many. I guess I would have to say when I found out I was pregnant with King, I took him to the emergency room with me because I woke up. My eye was swollen. I had got bit by a spider, right? So I went to the emergency room for my eye, and I took him with me because I hardly could see anything. I got one damn eye. So take him with me, and he's like, so the doctor come and she bring the paper, and she's like, yeah, you know, you got bit by a spider. She's like, I'm going to give you this, I can't give you no medication because of the baby. So I'm like, what baby? And she's like, you know, she's like, I can't give you the medication because you pregnant. And I was like, I'm not pregnant.
No, I'm not
and my
pregnant.
brother's face is like, when I look at him, my brother's face is like white. Like, he looking at me like, what? I looked at him and I was like, you better not say shit. When I tell you, no lie, my mother didn't find out for like months later. And he never told. Like,
wow.
So, like, he never told at all. Like, I was like, he must have forgot. Because I'm confused as to why he didn't tell on me, but he didn't. So, shout out to him for
Did
that.
your mother get mad when she found out that he knew and he didn't tell her?
No.
Wow,
It's my brother.
because look, how
She wouldn't
about
expect nobody to tell on her.
my parents, when Aubrey was conceived, right? They ain't found out about her till 8 months in. And we all held that secret. Me and
that's
both
how it
my
was.
brothers, right? Once they found out at 8 months, they looking at everybody like, why you ain't tell? Everybody
Yeah.
like,
Why would I tell?
Like,
Right? Like, what type of junk is that?
yeah, they be
Yeah.
want, I don't know about them. They want us to
Not gonna happen.
yeah. Like, y'all the ops. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we're gonna shift gears. I want you to tell me like what you were doing, where you were at, like your day, basically, when you found out about your brother.
I think that I was at work. I kind of had a feeling that something was going on because days prior to that, he had a little incident at my mom's house. And I had a feeling like days before that, and I never called my mom late at night, but I called her because I just felt like something was wrong. So I called her and she was crying. So I'm like, you know, what's going on? And she's just like, you know, today Antwan, he came here and he was sleeping or whatever, and you know, he like had like a seizure or whatever, and she was just like really distraught about it, and she was just like, I don't know what's going on or like what he did, but I really feel like something bad is about to happen, like because he not listening to me. And I'm just like, okay. So like a couple of days go by and I'm at work and I see my aunt calling me, and I'm like, she know I'm at work. So I kind of like paused the call and I was getting ready to text her, but she started calling again before I even sent a message. So I'm like, for some reason, I felt like something was wrong. So I picked up the phone, but I didn't say nothing. I just put the phone to my ear. Now, you know, my mother and my aunt, they're like identical twins. So they sound the same. If you don't know them, you could mistake somebody. I do it all the time. If my aunt answers my mom's phone, I could easily be like, Mom. And she like, nah, that's not your mother. So I hear her crying, and I automatically know something bad happened. So I left work. I told my manager I had to go. Something was going on. I wasn't sure what it was.
Right.
So my mom's house is not far from my job. I done forgot that I drove to work. I literally like run to her house, like around the corner. And when I get there, I see the ambulance and a cop car in front of my mother's house. So now I'm really nervous because now I don't know who really called me for real. I don't know if it was my mother or my aunt, or if something is wrong with my mother. Until I get inside, and when I open the door and see my mother's face, I already kind of like know what's up because of what happened, you know, days prior. So, yeah.
Is that something like y'all talk about as a family? Like, how is that, like, the whole grieving process, like, from when it happened till today? Like, do y'all talk together? Is it something that y'all kind of closed off about, nobody really talks about?
I'm gonna say for myself, I don't really talk about it that much unless somebody asks me. I'm not like opposed to talking about it.
Right.
Only because I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about, and it don't get talked about enough for people to see how it affects, you know, people's family.
Right.
And so many people are doing it, and when I say that, I mean like the overuse of drugs.
Right.
It's so easy to access right now, so I feel like it's not something that a lot of people talk about, but I'm not opposed to talking about it. My mother, I feel like my mother, she's not really talking about it. She don't talk about it too much, but she do post a lot about it, like on social media. So even if she not saying it to me, I know how she feeling because I see it. I know she have her days where she just like, she'll tell you like, I just kind of had like a bad day, which I feel like we all have at some point. My sister still being the glue. She don't really say much about it. If you bring it up, she will talk about it. And you know, my brother was locked up when it happened. My other brother was locked up. He for the first time, I think yesterday during the balloon release, I got to like hear him really like talk about it. Like I could tell that it really like messed him up for real. But yesterday was the first time that I actually got to hear him say like that he described it as he lost his soul and he can't figure out how to get back to it, basically. So, and my younger sister, same thing. I feel like the two of them, they kind of start to have like their own little relationship going on. With them being like closest in age and living in the same house with your sibling, and to not ever see them again is something that's really crazy. So when we all talk about it, like sometimes if we all together, we talk about most of the time like the funny stuff, you know, like because he definitely was funny as hell and he was always doing something, literally always doing something. So we always talk about like, you know, the fun times more than anything.
During that time, like, you know, when it first happened, even today, because what people don't understand, like a lot of people never been through this, right? They never lost a sibling. Most people, not most people, but a lot of people probably never really lost nobody close to them. So like, how would you say like coping, like having, I don't know if you got friends you might talk to about it again, because you might not have friends that could relate. Would you say that you had anybody then and now who you could kind of turn to and it could get you through, whether they understand or not?
I want to say yes and no, only because I feel like I've been kind of closed off about it up until like recently, and I think it's just because I've been so because I feel like I haven't had the breakdown that most people have. Me trying to escape that, I kind of was more like, and not for nothing, more angry than anything. So I feel like I didn't let that sad part of it like kick in. Like, of course, I'm sad that my brother not here, but like the part where like, you know, you really have that breakdown, I feel like I definitely yesterday was like that really like hit me. And I think it's just because I for some reason somebody tagged him on a picture on Instagram, and he had blocked me on Instagram from what I knew the last time we had an argument, and it was over me wanting to take him out for his birthday. And he told me that he didn't want to go out with me. He wanted me to send him the money. And I was like, bro, what? I'm not doing that. Like, so yeah, he just didn't want, he don't want to feel like a burden to anybody. So that was his biggest thing. And then I tapped the picture, the tag of his Instagram, and I saw that he unblocked me at some point, but I never knew that. And I had a message from him that I never saw up until yesterday, and the message really like got to me. But in the message at the end, he ended it saying like, I love you until the day that I go. And I was just like, whoa, like I didn't even ever see this message. And he just talked about, you know, being sorry about not being proactive in his niece and nephew life. Like it's not something that he, you know, obviously want to do, but he always felt like he caused enough damage, and he didn't want to cause any more damage. So he tried to stay away, but he do feel like he want to do better, and he want to be a better person. So I was just like, damn, I never even got to see that.
And you just saw that yesterday?
I saw it yesterday. Yesterday, I got to the hair salon. It was supposed to open up at 9, but I dropped Kennedy off, and I took off yesterday just because I wasn't really for sure, like, how I was going to be feeling. So I got to the hair salon, like, around 8:30, so I had to wait for the 30 minutes. So now I'm just looking at my phone, of course, scrolling. And I came across the post that somebody posted, and I just tapped the name. And when I went to it, I'm like, I wonder if our messages deleted since he blocked me.
Mm-hmm.
And the messages were still there, like even the ones from before. So I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was a sign yesterday. It's like he knew. Like,
yeah, I felt like I needed that. I couldn't even get my hair done there, by the way. I had to go because I didn't want nobody. I didn't want them seeing me like, damn, she was crying. So
I'm crying.
I went to a different hair salon after I kind of like got myself together. But I think that was the first time that I actually like let myself feel all the feelings, you know, like about just like being angry and blaming myself for feeling like I could have been a better sister, or you know, blaming other people because of what I felt like they could have did. And I think that I finally had that moment where I'm like, all right, this is what I need to do in order for me to be okay with this.
So going back about, you know, you said you feel like drug use and shit like that is not talked about enough or whatever like that. This is another thing that I feel like people don't talk about enough either. Would you happen to know like what he could have been going through that could have led him to abuse drugs the way he was abusing them?
I think that he was just a product of his environment. Having that addictive personality and not being able to say no. It's definitely not something that he saw at home. So I would, you know, having those generational curses, I feel like some things just are like inevitable most of the time. Like, yeah, I think that's just the gist of it. Because I feel like a bigger part of it is like, with mothers, I feel like we hold on to our daughters, like keep them sheltered in the house, but with boys, we are a little more like lenient with them. You know, our brothers, they could go outside, they could stay out to this time, they could do, you know, all of these things. And for us, it's like when that street light go off, we in the house. So I think that just like sometimes we got to have that. That's the message. Like have that same hold on your son that you got on your daughter. Not to say that girls don't do it, because they do, because I see it all the time, and they look, it's crazy. Yeah, it's a very scary thing to see, because I see people that I was friends with and they look crazy, and I'm just like, damn, like I never thought that I would see something like this. Like I never would have even thought that it was my brother. Even like my brother passing away, I feel like I never could have thought that would. I've seen other people go through that, and I always say, like, I don't know how they getting through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it happen to people close to me, like you. Like, I'm like, you know, I don't even know how she coping with this, but it's crazy. So,
because I remember, like, before my brother died, I feel like nobody lost siblings. I feel like I was the first one. Like, so when it happened, your hotline bling, but
girl, that's Xfinity.
That shit says But what I was about to say? Forgot that damn fast.
When your brother passed, nobody's siblings was
I said I feel like nobody else. It was nobody I could be like, yo, did it feel like this when this and that? It's like nobody who I could talk to about it, because we talk about this all the time. You know how we be saying like people don't have death etiquette, so people would just say the craziest shit or ask you something that is like, what the fuck? But now I know, like, them people ain't mean no harm. They just didn't experience it, so they didn't know, like, that's fucked true. Up the acts. Like,
and I even, like, yesterday, like, speaking of that, like, yesterday, I felt like we had the balloon release for my brother's birthday, and, of course, some people didn't make it. And I started to get those, like, oh, you know, I ain't know why you ain't tell me. And it's like, I know you knew, but it's like, I'm not upset that somebody didn't show up, or you know, that type of thing. Like, I'm just like, it is what it is. I know some people don't say nothing because they don't know what to say. It's a hard thing for somebody to come and, like, you know, be there for you, or they don't really know what to say or how to. And I'm in that position sometimes, even with me knowing how it feels to grieve. Like, I don't always know what to say or how to say, or what's the right thing to say, what's the right questions to ask. If they start crying and I don't, I'm over here feeling like, damn, like, fuck? Maybe, you know, I don't want them to feel like I'm doing this because I don't care. It's just like, that's just, it's a normal thing to feel, and I'm okay with it.
Or some people, I'm one of the people, I kind of got that personality where I don't know if it's like, again, it's not that I don't care, but it'd be like, awkward.
It's
like,
awkward.
What do you do? What do you say? Even when it's me, that's why I don't be liking to cry in front of people, because it's like, I know how that shit feel to be like, yo, what do you do? Like, What the
Yeah.
fuck? They probably,
It's
this
weird.
bitch don't give a fuck. It's like, yo, I really just don't know what to say.
Exactly. It is. It's so weird, especially when it's like you don't expect it. Like, if you go to a funeral and it's, you know, whatever, you expecting to see people crying, but if you just hanging out with somebody and they just bust out crying, you kind of like, oh shit. Like,
all right, so you kind of answered this question, but you kind of didn't, right? So I'm gonna give you an example, right? My brother died. I didn't just talk to my brother like last night or you know the day before. When other people died, it was, I'm gonna say 2 people died. I just talked to them a few hours before they died. So when your brother, like before his passing, did y'all ever have like a conversation? Like it was kind of a recent conversation, whether it was an argument, a regular conversation, a little text or something.
No. The last time I had spoken to him, well, I actually had seen him one day at Jersey Fried, and after that, he was locked up and he came home. He passed away like days after he came home. Like so, it was kind of like I didn't even get a real chance to see him. When I talked to my mom, like you see him on FaceTime in the background, but as far as like having a conversation with him, no, I didn't get to have any type of conversations with him.
And at first, when my brother first died, I used to feel like, damn, I wish I spoke to him, right?
Right.
But then when I lost 2 other people and just spoke to them, I was feeling like, damn, I wish I didn't just speak to them because it lets you know how real life really is. Like, you just was on my phone yesterday. Like, you dead today? Like, what? That gave me, I feel like, more questions. Like, I ain't gonna say that my brother dying, it gave me peace, because it didn't. But I'm saying, like, my brother been dead 9 years now. So when I look back, I be like, damn, I could imagine how much worse it would have been had I just spoke to him. Like, but that's something I always did want at first until I experienced talking to somebody and they just died. I'm like, shit, this is what I asked for? Like, I wanted to talk to you.
I think it kind of give you, like, a little bit more peace, so to say, because I think it definitely would be awkward to talk to them the day before and then, you know, the next day they like going, yeah.
All right, so give me a beat. Like, nah, I was about to trying to scare you. Like, this bitch about to rap.
I'm definitely not.
But nah.
I'm gonna sing ABCs. You're gonna be mad as hell.
Hey, yo. Alright. So, real shit though, all jokes aside, I got a, hey, Steve, I got a present for you or whatever. Because I know, y'all don't know because y'all don't know us, but I know you said you was having an off day today, yesterday, and then you expressed to us, you know,
thank you.
You know, you just feel like it started to hit you and shit like that. So,
thank you, girl. I
got to show y'all niggas something. I had to buy some flowers or whatever. But yeah, you feel awkward right now?
No.
Cause I
you bought me flowers before.
Oh yeah, I did. Tell me about that time. It's like nah, real shit though. How did that feel though? Cause I know for me, again, I was one of the first people to lose a sibling around me, and I feel like being the only person dealing with some shit like that, nobody's really gonna know what you want, what you're looking for. The reason why I was able, I'm like, yo, let me get her some flowers. Like, that's something I would have wanted for somebody to do for me. But nobody didn't experience that to know, like, yo, let me get her some flowers. This might, you feel me? Like, that's a common thing people do, like, you know, around funeral time or when the person dies and shit like that. People come and bringing food, whatever they bring or whatever like that. And some people, if you ain't never experienced that, you're not gonna know, like, that's what you should do type shit. Yeah. So how did that feel like? Because I know I wasn't the only one. I know you had other friends and stuff, you know, coming through, bringing you stuff, you know, sending you messages. How did that feel for you?
I think it definitely, like, eased my mind a little bit because I could definitely never say that people wasn't there because they were. I think that I definitely saw that the love that I put out, it definitely was reciprocated in that time. So, I want to say it felt good, but you know, obviously I don't, like, in that moment it was like I felt it, like the cards, the letters, all of it, like I felt it, you know. Even like I've had like some of my other friends come to me like with a book, just saying like, you know, read this, you know, when you get ready. So I think that just like having to not always say how I feel, but
Right.
know that people see me enough, or kind of want to understand me enough to just kind of go out of their way to make sure that I'm okay. So
Right.
even if it's not me posting about something or whatever, like saying like, you've been quiet, like everything,
Right.
okay, because that's not something that you see all the time. First of all, even flowers is like I'm glad that it starts to be such a thing that even your friends
She talking about
buy
some no
you-
homo. Get the fuck
buy
out.
you flowers, like, because I'm like, you bought me flowers before. They probably on here, people like to make up shit. So.
They know who I was when they met me. Like,
Who was you?
Don't do that on the air.
Tell me, because I'm confused.
Don't do that on the air. You ain't confused. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm dead.
But all right. So this is always my favorite question for any interview I do.
I'm scared.
Nah, it's not scary. It's regular. Like the person that you was, right, before this happened. You remember that person?
Mm-hmm.
And how would you say you were before this happened?
I don't change. I think that's a bigger part of why it's important to have people around me who really are paying attention, because not to say like I'm like this super strong person, but I'm just not the person who wear my heart on my sleeve.
Right.
So if it's something wrong, 9 times out of 10 you probably won't know. Most of the things that the days that I have where I'm having a bad day, I probably won't talk about it. I probably won't say nothing about it. And I think that my son taught me like a really valuable lesson about that, because I didn't know he had a situation in school before where they had to call crisis because he told them that he wanted to kill himself. And it really fucked me up, because I'm like, damn, like I feel like I'm really killing it as a parent. Like, what's wrong? Like,
Right.
what's going on? And I didn't know how bad my brother's death was affecting him, because I knew the relationship that he had with my brother. When I had my son, I lived in the house with my brother was there, you know? So he had that instant bond with him where he had been back in the house with a newborn baby. So my son was very, very attached to him. I've had to like tear my son ass up for running in the street when he see him. So like he had that relationship with him. So, but when I went to see I had to put him in counseling. So to see, figure out what's going on. And his biggest thing that was affecting him was my brother's death. And him feeling like that he don't have nobody to really dump his shit out on,
Right.
so to say. So he told them about him crying all the time, and he do it when I go to sleep, and he do it when I'm not around, or he do it by himself, and he's doing that because he don't ever see me doing it. So he feel like it's not the right thing to do.
Right.
So I kind of had to have that, conversation where it's like, if you need to, you are allowed to. It's just that's not, you're not going to always see me doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it because I don't want nobody seeing me crying, or because, as a mother, I feel like a lot of times we have this thing where, they say like, oh, we go in our room and we come out with our head up or whatever the case may be. I've seen my mother cry plenty of times, and sometimes I didn't even know what was wrong, but it didn't take away from me feeling like she was a strong person. So I had to tell King that it's like, just because you don't see me doing it, that's my way of coping with it. That's how I grieve, So I'm not expecting the same thing from you, but yeah.
Right. So if you could tell your brother anything in the world right now, because he could hear you anyway, but what would you want to tell him?
I would definitely tell him that I love him, like I always do, like I always did. That I wish that he was here. I wish we had more time. I definitely would curse his ass out, just like I always did, like just for leaving us here. So, yeah, and that I miss him. I miss him, and it's like to be honest, on another side of me, I feel like, and it's only because I got to see my brother in some really fucked up positions. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the streets is nasty.
Right.
Like, and I got to see him in places with people who don't really love him like I do, and doing things that he wasn't raised on just because he was a product of his environment, and just, you know, being a follower sometimes or whatever it was, or just probably having something internal going on that don't nobody really know about, because boys are supposed to be strong and they can't cry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know what really was happening, but I would just definitely tell him that I miss him for the most part. And
you gonna call him Musty?
Definitely call him Musty. Definitely call him Musty every single time. We called each other all kinds of ugly, bald head, you name it. Like, we definitely had some really bad falling out. Like, he could, what they call it, like crashing out. He could definitely make me crash out. The only person, like, and he knew it. Like, he knew it. Like, any little thing he did would just like piss me off, because I just felt like, why the hell are you doing this? But we have a lot of, the good definitely outweighed the bad. So.
All right, so you mentioned, this is my last question for you. You mentioned that you got your son in counseling behind what happened with your brother. Did you ever seek counseling for yourself?
No.
Do you feel like you want to, or you feel like you're not ready yet?
Not that I'm not really ready, I guess.
That was that nigga. Y'all saw that, bro? I don't know if they saw that. That's crazy.
I definitely feel like at some point I wanted to have counseling. I definitely like thought about, like, I wanted to like have counseling with my mother. Right. Just because she lived by herself and I really don't know how she really feel. So I would like to kind of get like the inside scoop of like what's happening on her daily, everyday life. Because my mother getting older, and I just want to make sure that I'm there for her in the most, you know, the best possible way. Right. But as far as counseling, it's not something that I guess I felt like his need was more, you know, serious in that moment, because that shit scared me, because I'm like, why are you saying that? Like, what's going on? And I had no idea that it was even like a big thing for him. Right. So, yeah. But at some point, I do plan to, you know, be able to go and talk to somebody.
All right, bro. Don't play with these people.
See the lady.
Don't play with these people. Don't play with your brother on this walkout right here. I need you to say this shit with your chest. Stop playing with him. That's why he better not play with me. He said, man, stop fucking playing with him. That's why he smacked your straw. Say that shit with your chest. Whose sister are you? I don't hear you.
I'm Antwan's sister.
Whose sister are you?
Antwan's.
One more time, like, beef your chest up a little bit when you say it.
Cut it out. Antwan's sister.
I like that one a little better. But yeah, thank you for coming through. You ain't get fucked up. She came to get fucked up, y'all. I should show y'all her
show them
her stash down here.
Stop.
Embarrassed. Nah, but for real, thank you for coming through. Again, especially with, you know, the day that you had. I appreciate you still coming through. Glad you got through it. And next time you gotta come talk about you said you wanted a nigga with no legs, so you gotta come back and talk about that next time. All right. All right, y'all. Peace out.
Bye.